Do you know which country's bomber has the largest bomb load capacity in the world? You wouldn't think that the B-2 bomber, which recently bombed Iran's nuclear facilities, has a large bomb load capacity, would you? Then guess how much the future H-20 bomber will be able to carry? Without a doubt, the higher the bomb load capacity, the more powerful the bomber becomes. The sound it makes is louder, and the enemy becomes more panicked when they see you. A bomber with a large bomb load capacity. A single bomber can do the job of many bombers. It can attack multiple targets simultaneously in one sortie. No need for frequent resupply, and it can complete the mission continuously. This is crucial for improving battlefield efficiency. So, for bombers, load capacity is not just a simple number. It is also a direct reflection of national strategic power, the most direct and crude manifestation. Some leaders might say, wouldn't a bomber with a larger bomb load be easier to detect and more likely to be shot down? To put it simply, there's indeed such a risk, but it depends on the specific situation, because nothing is absolute. Today, they'll take you through the top 5 countries with the largest bomb load capacity for bombers in the world. Let's see where our bombers stand in the global ranking. 5th place. What's going on? At such a critical moment, my laptop is actually lagging. This situation not only affects my editing, but also impacts your viewing experience. So, it's important to update equipment regularly. But even old equipment shouldn't go to waste. It's best to find a reliable platform for recycling. I compared a few options and found that Xian is currently offering large recycling subsidies in partnership with a national policy. I decided to have them come to pick up my old phone. I had been meaning to sell my old phone, but had been too lazy to handle it. So, I simply scheduled a pickup with Xian. I didn't expect that my Huawei Mate 60 Pro sold for over 4,600 RMB. Xian also recycles tablets and laptops, as well as other digital products. Overall, I recommend Xian for second-hand recycling. France's active strategic bombers are actually multi-purpose fighter jets. The representative model is the Dassault Rafale fighter, although the Rafale is a modern single-seat dual-seat fighter. Each can carry up to 95 tons of external ordnance. 95 tons is considered a large payload for a fighter. It can carry 4 15-ton laser-guided bombs, as well as air-to-air missiles, anti-ship missiles, and external fuel tanks, especially the domestically produced as MPA Neutron Missile Nuclear Cruise Missile. This also allows the Rafale to play a strategic deterrence role. Another older French aircraft, the Mirage 2000N, can carry 2 nuclear warheads, providing additional capabilities for strategic missions. In any case, the Rafale gives France a nuclear deterrence capability just behind the UK, us, and Russia in Europe. Its conventional attack capability is also strong. You can think of them as mini aircraft carriers. This allows France, as a major European power, to join the ranks of the world's largest bomb load countries. In reality, the Rafale usually carries a maximum of 68 tons of munitions per aircraft, but in full comparison, it still ranks 5th. 4th place, India. Although the Indian Air Force does not have traditional strategic bombers, its large multi-role fighter aircraft can also perform bomb transport duties. The representative model is the Russian-made Su-30MK dual-seat heavy fighter. India has made a large purchase of these old models, equipped with domestic weapons and avionics. The Su-30MK can carry up to about 813 tons of weapons. What does 813 tons mean? For example, it can carry 8 1-ton guided bombs at once, or more than 10 long-range cruise missiles. Indian versions of the KH-59M, KH-65. It can also carry a few air-to-air missiles. This makes the Su-30MK a true aircraft carrier in terms of conventional ground strikes. In real combat, the Indian Su-30MK can carry various types of bombs. Cap 500 and 1500 etc., and precision-guided bombs. 4 ground attacks. It can also carry Israeli II Spirit missiles, or Russian R-77-73 air-to-air missiles for air combat. So it's very versatile. 3rd place. Speaking of Russia, we can't miss their Tu-160, the White Swan supersonic bomber. Just hearing its name, you know it's tough. Its payload is even more frightening. It can carry up to 45 tons of weapons. 45 tons. Can it create some craters on the surface of the Earth? The answer is yes. The Tu-160's bomb bay can hold 12 long-range cruise missiles. For example, KH-55, KH-15, or the latest KH-BD, along with conventional bombs and terror weapons. Its main mission is high-altitude, long-range missile launches. Enemies are terrified just by hearing its name. There's also the well-known Tu-95 Bear turboprop bomber. Although it's an old relic designed in the 1950s, historically, the Tu-95 was designed to carry 11 tons of bombs. Its payload is said to reach about 20 tons. Just imagine, a propeller-driven plane hauling that much iron. No wonder it's called the Bear of the Sky. Russia is also developing an upgraded version of the Pakta bomber. But let's set that aside for now. In any case, Russia, with its Tu-160 and Tu-95 series bombers, firmly holds 3rd place globally in bomb load capacity. When it comes to long-range cruise missile strikes and strategic deterrence, they're absolutely serious. Although the Russians boast impressive figures, there's quite a bit of exaggeration. 2nd place, the United States. The Americans don't have their reputation for nothing. Their heavy bombers are practically loaded to the brim with weapon racks. The B-52H Stratofortress is a true example of old but still mighty. It can carry up to about 32 tons of bombs. What does 32 tons mean? That's roughly the weight of nearly 100 compact cars. Just imagine a B-52H filled with bombs cruising in the sky. It's truly a majestic sight. And beyond the B-52H, their B-1B Lancer can unleash a tsunami of 34 tons of bombs. Add to that the stealthy B-2 Spirit. Although small in size, it still carries an 18-ton payload, enough to load several mothers of all bombs, Moabs, or dozens of damn precision-guided bombs. These American heavy bombers not only carry conventional bombs, they are also regularly equipped with long-range cruise missiles, such as AGM-86, JASSM, and nuclear warheads. They are permanently deployed as a core part of nuclear deterrence and global strike capability. For example, the B-52H can carry dozens of AGM-158 Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff Missiles JASSM for anti-ground or anti-ship strikes. It's fully capable of flattening a whole area of enemy forces at any time. 1st place, China. All right, we've finished talking about the US and Russia. Now it's our turn to shine. China's 1st-generation jet bomber was actually a reverse-engineered version of the Soviet Tu-16, the H-6 series. The latest variant, the H-6K, is rightfully called the War God. Just hearing 6th Grandpa sounds intimidating, and its payload doesn't disappoint either. It can carry about 12 tons of bombs. What does 12 tons mean? Picture 12 one-ton bombs, each weighing 5,000 kilograms. That's a monster capable of leveling entire targets. In actual combat, the H-6K typically carries 6 YJ-12 supersonic anti-ship missiles, or 6 to 7 CJ-10A long-range cruise missiles, along with several conventional bombs. It's designed for saturation attacks on naval fleets or land-based targets. In real combat terms, if 18 fully armed H-6Ks launch a coordinated strike loaded with YJ-12S, they would rain down over 100 supersonic anti-ship missiles in a torpedo storm. Such a scene, not to mention a drill, would leave the enemy struggling even to surface in real combat. We've also been continuously upgrading the H-6 KS engines and avionics, making it fly farther and detect more effectively. Step by step, we've extended our strategic strike range from the coast to the outer island chains. And what about the H-20? That's our future stealth long-range strategic bomber. Even before its official debut, it's already generating widespread speculation. Official data has been modest, but according to the U.S. Department of Defense report, the H-20 is expected to carry at least 10 tons of weapons. However, foreign media speculations go further. Some military analysts believe the H-20's payload capacity could reach 20 to 40 tons. 20 to 40 tons would put it on par with second-generation B-2 or B-21 bombers. The B-2, for instance, carries about 18 tons. Of course, these are still speculative predictions and not final conclusions, but according to foreign sources, the H-20 may be able to carry over a dozen ultra-long-range missiles, with a payload that can rival that of the American B-2. In summary, we currently have the H-6K with a 12-ton payload, and in the future, the H-20 estimated to carry over 20 tons, possibly up to 30 tons. It's fair to say that China's bombers are entering the world's top tier, capable of conventional long-range strikes, and with the potential for strategic nuclear deterrence. If the day ever comes when the H-20 flies fully loaded across the Pacific, that would be a powerful show of force toward enemy bases beyond the second island chain. So does a higher bomb load really mean a bomber is easier to detect and shoot down? Think about it, a larger payload usually means one of two things. Either the internal bomb bay can't hold it all, so it's carried externally, or the aircraft itself is physically larger. And bigger aircraft naturally have a larger radar cross-section, which makes stealth more difficult. So the larger the payload, the harder it is to remain stealthy, and the easier it is to be detected. However, heavy bombers often fly at higher altitudes and have longer ranges. For example, the B-52 or H-6K typically launch cruise missiles from long range. They don't need to penetrate deep into enemy airspace, so the actual risk of being shot down is relatively low. Bombers with heavy payloads usually strike from long distances, using standoff missile attacks. It's not like World War II, where they had to fly directly over the enemy and drop bombs. This kind of modern tactic keeps them outside the range of enemy air defenses, which makes them much safer overall. With stealth design, electronic warfare protection, and long-range strike capability, the chances of detection and being shot down are significantly reduced. Sure, a bigger payload does mean greater exposure risk, but as long as the tactics are right, the overall risk doesn't necessarily increase.